Stop it! I can't keep doing this with you. They hung up on me.
That sounded pretty intense. You okay?
Yeah, man. Dude's doing the same thing over and over again. It's like he's stuck in a cycle.
He probably is. Behavioral cycles are present in all of us. There are a number of behavioral cycles, from anger cycles, drug cycles, even abuse cycles.
Everybody?
Definitely. We can talk about anger cycles, for example. Let's break it down. Every cycle starts with a baseline. For most of us, that baseline is calmness, chill, everything is fine. Then, bam! All of a sudden, something happens that affects your emotional state. That's called a trigger.
I didn't realize where that came from. Ha! Get triggered, nerd.
Yeah, it's actually a mental health term, but check it out. It's often used as a justification for escalation, like getting upset or feeling angry.
Oh, totally. It's like walking on eggshells around him. The smallest thing and he's yelling, slamming doors, flipping tables. It's so frustrating.
We can call that crisis mode. Thankfully, though, de-escalation is the natural next step. It's important at this point not to rehash the incident and to focus on calming strategies. Give them space. And remember to stay calm yourself. Don't get triggered by them being triggered.
Right.
With the right environment, that leads us to stabilization, returning us to our calm baseline. This is the time to show respect and compassion, a time for problem solving.
That makes sense, but is there any way to break the cycle?
Absolutely. But first, we have to understand what triggers us. Whether it's traffic, you're feeling disrespected, or you're just a little hangry, pick your poison. The trick is make mental note of them. I personally use the image of a flag being stuck into the quote-unquote trigger. This allows me to recognize when a trigger may be present or incoming, thus putting the power back in my hands. Instead of justifying an escalation and ending up in crisis mode, I instead decide to control my response. I model calm behavior and immediately start into de-escalation.
Like you said, from de-escalation to stabilization, back to baseline.
Don't get me wrong, it's not easy at first. But like we talked about before, the more we practice anything, the easier it gets.
Could it really be as simple as that?
For sure. The coolest thing about all of this is that it works on any bad behavior. Understanding what triggers us and how we justify it escalating to the bad behavior will allow us to take our power back from the cycles that negatively affect us.
I totally see how I allowed myself to fall into the anger cycle on the phone. I feel like it's my responsibility to make that right. I'm going to try to pass this lesson on.
I think that's a great idea. Spread the love.